By 2040, an 80% increase in uranium demand is projected for the world's nuclear industry. The growth of the world nuclear energy uranium requirements in the long term will entail large low-cost uranium projects depletion and secondary sources reduction. The gap between established uranium supply sources and demand may amount to about 46,000 tons of uranium in 2040. Central Asia, specifically Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, are strategically positioned with abundant uranium resources, holding the key to shaping the future of energy. Prepare for insightful discussions on reshaping the energy landscape of Central Asia and exploring the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead.
Good afternoon. I hope everybody enjoyed their lunch. Welcome to session 7, Uranium Mining Fueling the Future. I think there's actually no better place than here in Central Asia to hold this session. This region has a long history of uranium exploration and production, and is at the forefront with its ISL and ISR technologies. Recent updates that came into force earlier this year in the subsoil code here in Uzbekistan incorporate specific regulatory requirements in line with the goal to increase production to greater than 7,000 tons of uranium by 2030 and increase the resources over 100,000 tons of uranium. A radical increase is needed, as we've just seen from the slide there, in the power that's needed to meet not only the lower carbon emissions, but also to fuel data centers and AI and cloud technologies. New power plant construction is planned and underway in several jurisdictions globally. These include China, India, USA, and France, and also the development of SMRs, and of course here in Central Asia. We've got quite a tight schedule this afternoon and some really, really great speakers and some great informative presentations as well. So without further ado, we'll go to our first presenter, who's Urel Yusupov, who's Deputy Minister and the Ministry of Mining, Industry and Geology for the Republic of Uzbekistan. Can you please give him a warm welcome?
Assalomu alaykum, hurmatli forum ishtirokchilari. Men bugungi taqdimotda Xalq sanoati korxonalarining energiya ta'minotini diversifikatsiya.
Good day, dear participants. Today I'll be talking about the diversification of the energy in the Republic of Uzbekistan. So we need to highlight that in the Republic of Uzbekistan till 2030 we have the strategy for development, and in our system of the ministry okay. Please pay attention to the screens. So the Novoye cabinet is planning to conduct the processing of the different kind of the elements. What I want to say that in all our companies, we are increasing by 1.5 or by 3 times the exploration of the metals, and regarding Uzbek coal as well. Till 2030, we are planning to increase. So it's specified on the slide that the coal production, but overall in the Republic of Uzbekistan, we want to increase the coal production till 2030. And of course, that puts different kind of challenges in front of us. In this regard, in Navoy Metallurgia Combinat, we have the energy quotas that has been increased. In Almaly, for instance, it's been increased for 2.5 times. And I want to say that we have the strategy for development of the Republic of Uzbekistan, and we want to increase the amount of the gold exploration for 1.5 times, the silver 3 times, the copper 2 times, and uranium for 2 times. And of course, that needs to the additional need for the energy resources. I'd like to highlight that in 2025, we had approximately 400 explorations, deposits. Deposits were provided to the private sector. What I want to say that these are the strategic deposits, and this will be developed based and in cooperation with the metallurgy companies. In 15 out of 400 deposits, there will be the additional works done, and we know that for this kind of additional works, the additional energy will be needed, and the creation of the power is really needed, and we see increasing demand from the private sector and the companies as well for the energy, electricity supply. In the mining sphere and metal production, we see that the amount of the investments are being increased. And we also have the localized projects that we want to implement even further. Until 2030, we will have 1,408 projects implemented in the Republic of Uzbekistan in the amount of the 34.2 trillion sums, and that all projects requires the additional electricity supply. In this regard, the mining sphere of the Republic of Uzbekistan is a very well developing sphere in Uzbekistan, I would say, and the Minister of the geology and the mining resources of the Republic of Uzbekistan is supporting the private sector and considers the necessity for the diversification of the electricity supply and renewables, for instance, in the mining sphere. It constitutes 20% only of the consuming electricity. And of course, we have the cooperation with the Minister of Energy sector, and we have the plans on integrating our projects together with the ministry till 2030, because each kind of energy or power, I would say, must be integrated with the powers generated by the Minister of Energy of the Republic of Uzbekistan. And we have the exact plans for the future to be implemented till 2030. At the end of my speech, I'd like to tell that, we together with the companies on the mining and the geology will be working together on using not only the traditional resources for the energy supply, but also will be supporting the idea of the development of the alternative energy resources. Thank you very much for attention.
Thank you very much, Yoram. I actually have a couple of questions for you. So my first question is, what do you think about the positive changes in uranium mining in recent years, and the main reasons why Navoy Uran is becoming a global company?
Thank you very much for the question. Regarding the second question, the rapid development of the Navoy Uran company, we have, I would say, many reasons for that. Starting from the January 1st of 2022, the Navoy mining complex passed through the reforms. We made the restructurization, and it was transferred to the Navoy mining, like the complex, uniting the State Unitary Enterprise and other like the complexes, and that lead to the possibility for the new development era of the Navoy uranium, I would say. And of course, Navoy Uranium is a new company, and one of the main reasons for the rapid development of this company is the fact that it started promoting the transparency and openness principles on its own mechanisms and started involving the international best consultancy firms and attracting the international experts, a strong management system of the company, another reason for that. And of course, in the Republic of Uzbekistan, in this regard, we have the regulatory framework. And the fact that the regulatory framework was updated to make it even more transparent and to simplify the requirements, I think lead to the possibility for the creation of additional conditions for the development of the company. And I think that this is one of the top three best companies in the Republic of Uzbekistan. And I think that that's not the limitation. That's just the beginning, I would say, for the future for this company to make even greater input for development of our economy. We hope for that.
Yeah, so that sounds good. I also have another question, and I just wanted to know from you were saying about the power in the mining enterprises, and I wanted to know what the benefit is of diversing the power in mining enterprises.
Thank you very much for the question. And of course, as I have mentioned before in my presentation and my speech as well, we have the diversification of the electricity energy in the mining sphere. I talked about the role of it. And of course, in the mining companies, we know that the diversification would lead to the energy security because in the big factories, in case we have different energy resources supplied to those factories, then there will be the backup in case of the shut of the first energy resource, and then the shortcomings in the electricity supply will not be affecting the production chain of the factory. So that's why the first one is the I would say energy security for the factories, for the companies. But the second one, as I mentioned before, that we organize the tender and we have the plan to provide 400 deposits to the private sector to transfer it. And of course, those 400 deposits, not all of them are in the best conditions where we have the all electricity supply and different conditions ensured, especially in the remote areas. We want to develop to we want to develop the wind energy and the solar panels installation. And the diversification of the energy resources would lead for our companies to easier obtain the credits, the green credits. And the impact to the ecology as well. Another important factor, diversification of the electricity resources would lead to mitigating the negative impact to the environment. We have 320 days of sun in the Republic of Uzbekistan, and that's why using the alternative resources like the solar panels will be both
Thank you
cheaper
very
and
much.
more
That's
efficient.
very insightful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we will move on to Otabek Amanov. He's a Deputy Director for Capital Construction, and he is a Directorate for the Construction of Nuclear Power Plants. His talk is on Novoye Uran, a leader of global uranium industry. Thank you. Can we just have a round of applause, sorry, for Otabek? Thank you.
Assalomu alaykum, hurmatli anjuman qatnashchilari, hurmatli mehmonlar, hurmatli tashkilotchilar. Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги, уважаемые участники форума.
Hello, dear colleagues, dear participants, dear administration. Thank you very much for organizing this great event and for the opportunity to speak in front of this audience. And I would like to talk about nuclear energy in Uzbekistan. As we know, currently energy sector in Uzbekistan passes a rapid development phase. We have undergoing large-scale reforms, implementing large-scale projects, in particular renewables, solar power plants, wind plants, micro, mini hydraulic power plants. Also, we started to develop nuclear plants. So the leadership in our country has set ambitious tasks to increase the opportunities of our power sector by 2030 to increase it almost 2 times because the consumption will grow by the same figure. That's why we started implementing a project to build the first nuclear power plant. Talking about the nuclear power plant demand phase of project implementation, the earliest phase is choosing the site. According to the international norms and standards like IAEA and Russia, we have chosen priority zones to build our plant. So we did very large scale research. We used more than 20 organizations and companies in Uzbekistan, where the integrator, by the way, was the Ministry of Geology, and Uzbek Design Institute was Dashnuti, where we had consulting companies and consultants from Russia. Leading expert consultant was Atom Energo Project. We chose 2 priority sites, one around the Lake Tudakul and one around Lake Tuscan, Aydarkul Tuscan system of lakes. As I said earlier, large scope prospecting and research works were made. They lasted about a year. We had to make the full scope of geological, hydrogeological, seismic, environmental, and construction material related research. And as a result, we decided to have a site around Lake Tuscan, and we had 3 options. The first one was priority, second was backup. The sites meet all the IAEA requirements. There are no excluding factors there at these sites. Near Tudakul Lake, there was high seismic activity, potential seismic activity at 9 and higher, and gypsum rocks. The one that we chose meets all the standards. And based on this research and the site, we started to make the following phase of our activities. So, if you take a look at the slide, the whole path as shown here, we made an agreement between Russia and Uzbekistan, and also in January of 2019, we completed we started choosing the site in 2019. We completed doing that. We also had a research on technical projects. In May 24, we signed the contract with Atomstroy Export. In September 24, we signed a protocol about the work start. And currently, we have construction and erection works on the basics. Also, we have perimeters, security works, and also we started doing the project documentation work. We do full scope design work, development license documentation. As you know, we need to make an approval for the site and the construction and also license document. So these work we do together with our general contractor, Atomstroy, and also other contractors that help us in implementing this project. Also, in our contract, it says that we are going to use our local uranium source material. We have an agreement about supplying this type of fuel. We met our colleagues several times in our office in Navai, Uran. We had trilateral meetings as well. So our natural uranium is okay to be used by Russians, and they are prepared to produce fuel using our local uranium for our power plant. This particular fact would reduce the cost for our power plant. As you know, according to our contract, we implement a contract to build small plant we use as a reactor lithium 200 dam that has a fuel cycle of 6 years. Every 6 years we're going to make refueling. We'll have to have zero point 0.6 tons of enriched uranium. So our fuel has up to 20% enrichment level. So every unit will have 100 tons per unit. For our producer, Novy Uranium, this is a serious phase, which would mean that Uzbekistan would reach a new level of producing fuel elements from natural uranium ore. Talking about our plant, as you know, in 2022, the European Union adopted nuclear power as a green energy, and putting our plant into operation would reduce burning hydrocarbons and greenhouse gas emissions. It would be a motivation to develop science and education. As you know, Uzbekistan since 1959 we have a research reactor in the town Ulug'bek in the Institute of Nuclear Physics. So we already have certain potential and we have some skills and competences of local experts. So we would create new jobs. And during the construction, in a peak time, we will attract more than 20,000 construction workers of different focus like technical personnel and regular workers. More than 2,000 units of machine and equipment would also be used to implement and realize our project. Also, as the speaker mentioned before me, it would be good diversification of energy production. As you perfectly know, at the moment, 80% of power is made through burning of hydrocarbons, mainly natural gas. And currently, we are exporting some natural gas. So we need to mix up this with the solar energy, wind energy, hydropower, and nuclear energy. Also, we're going to develop infrastructure. It would be powerful motivation to develop infrastructure in the region power plant sites. Also, local industry is going to develop. In our contract, it is prescribed the principle of localization. We are going to use local construction material, cable, other construction materials. Talking about training of personnel, currently, as you can see on the slide, we opened the first branch of Russian MIFI University. For the second year, we graduated students. Every year, we accept 320 students and we train them. We also dispatch our young experts to operating sites like Bangladesh, Hungary, Pakistan. Also, we have sent students to South Korea, training. So we are currently working on that as well, because for us this is the main stage. We need to train our experts to launch our stage. Thank you very much for your attention. Спасибо, Атабек. У меня для вас быстрый вопрос. Я сделаю это быстрым вопросом, потому что мы начали с опозданием. Когда вы собираетесь запустить первый блок?
Если говорить о завозе топлива, то
Talking about bringing in the fuel, according to our contract, fuel must be brought into the site 6 months before the start of the first power units. We're planning to launch first unit at the end of 2029, so we need to bring the fuel in the middle of Uzbekistan. But according to the contract, we also have to send our natural uranium to Russia 2 years prior the fuel supply. So in 2027, we must send our uranium to Russia so they produce the fuel. So that's the time frame. Until 2027, we have to make the agreement on uranium supply. So in 2027, Russia starts producing the fuel, and in 2029, in the middle of the year, we are to receive our fuel units and launch our first unit at the end of 2029. Thank you.
Great, thanks very much. Thank you, that's very good. Okay, so our next presenter is Ahmad Bokolonov. He is the head of Group of Operational Efficiency Department of the Project Office on the State Enterprise Navoy Uran. His talk will be on global uranium industry, the outlook and challenges. If you could welcome Ahmad to the stage, that would be very nice. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. And I know most of the audience were waiting for me, actually. So I'm here to tell you more about our company, Navoy Uran. And Navoy Uranium is the only operating and producing of the natural uranium in the Republic of Uzbekistan. And actually, the company is was working with the NMMC for more than 50 years. And then only in 2022, it became an independent operating company, which is delivering still the natural uranium for providing the energy to the whole world. So the natural uranium which is produced in the country is fully being exported for our international customers. And this presentation will be actually an introducing one about the Navoy Uranium. So the company is located, I would say, in the Kizilkum region of Uzbekistan. We are very close to this gold mine, and NMMC, which we are shoulder to shoulder, is actually working together, and our mostly infrastructure is same in some lines. So another important statistic is that uranium mining in Uzbekistan has been started in 1945. So the explorations and the first uranium has been mined already in the late 50s. And in 1963, the engineers of the uranium has found about the ISL, because we are proudly able, and we are really believe that we are say that the Navoy Uranium, the Uzbekistan engineers were the first to find out about the ISL mining system of the uranium in the world. And once this ISL system has been developed, then the management, the company, the whole country has decided that to close all the open pits, which is very costly, and the whole mines in the country were converted to an ISL mining method, which is much more cost effective. So after the whole country the whole mines has been converted into the mining with ISL, the production has also rapidly increased because of the easiest way and the environmentally friendly method and the production possibility. In 2022, the presidential decree has diversified the gold mining and uranium fields as an industry. So we have become an independent company operating in the uranium, and now we have started by this decree is actually a long transformation processes which has started in 2022, and it will be concluding in 2030s. So the transformation is very important to have a look outside of Uzbekistan, as the company was let's say a baby in the country. Now the parents has allowed him to look outside the nest, and we are now looking outside of Uzbekistan for the international, for global partners, just to improve, to increase our capacity and our potential. So currently, the exploration of the company is massively going for increasing the reserves of the company, as we have got a very ambitious targets to increase the production as per the decree of the government. So currently, the company is operating more than 40 uranium deposits, which are fully being converted into the JORC standards by the revaluation of the reserves. And the company has got also lots of assisting facilities, which is very important for the production. For example, for the casing of the wells, which we do the production, we produce our own PVC pipe, and we have got our own sulfuric acid plant, which we produce more than 500,000 tons of the sulfuric acid annually. And the rest we will provide from other companies like AMMC, where the sulfuric acid production is a byproduct. So we can show in the bar charts that before Novouran was producing through the open pit mining and underground mining until 1994, and after the 1995 we started fully converted to an ISL project, which is a fully and easy way, and the first one, Novouran was the first to start this system in the world. So the underground and open pit mining was very famous. I would say in one sentence only the history of this ISL, how it came. When the engineers were pumping out the waters from the undergrounds, and the water was sent to the laboratory. So this laboratory results has shown some uranium in this. So they have found out that it can be leached in the underground waters. So exactly then the research works and the R&D works has been conducted, and this ISL method has been born. The ecology and the ESG standards in the Novouran has been also implemented in a wide way. So we are not making any mining, any excavation. We are only making the wells, and from the wells, the leaching of the uranium is coming through the solutions. So the production of the company has been very low, actually, at much earlier stages, but we are doing our best to increase it as much as possible, as we have got some now local consumers and international partners are actually pushing the company to increase the uranium as much as possible. And with our international partners, if we can say in short, we have got a operating project with French Uranium mining already in the Republic of Uzbekistan, and we are looking forward to start some projects with the Japanese Itochu also. And the CNNC from China is our one of the close partners, and we are looking forward for some international other giants who are already existing in the global uranium mining business. After this transformation, as a part of the transformations, the company has implemented the international standards, because once you are looking outside of the country, these standards is very important, that it will be giving you more efficiency in the operations of the company, in the management and international relations. So we have got a line of international standards and requirements implemented to comply the international requirements of the mining business and the mining trade and so on. This year, we also, as a result of all this heavy works and hard works of the management and the full support of the government, and directly with under the supervisory of the government, let's say maybe the President's office is also fully involved also in the upgrading the operations in Navoiran management and its position in the global mining business. So the company has been launched the ESG rating and in April of this year. So the future plans of the company is just to, as I said before, just to look outside of Uzbekistan. Of course, we have got lots of mines, lots of reserves in the country. So as per the JORC standards, we have got enough reserves that the company will maintain the current production with existing more than 15 years. And by the end of this year, the company is planning to increase that it will be maintaining the production in this way for more than 25 years, and all these plans will go ahead. At the same time, the company will look outside to have the joint projects of the uranium mining in the third countries. We have got a list of countries already identified, and we are in the situation and in the position of negotiations with them, and the negotiations are going well, successful. The future strategies also will include that Navoiran has got the largest potential in the manpower, which in the presentation you might have seen that we have got more around 10,000 of the employees, and we are ready actually to start the new projects globally in more than 10 countries, where the manpower, the engineers and the systems, the unification, the simplification methods which our engineers will offer will be helping to decrease the cost. So the cost of the product by this way, which will be initiated by Navoiran, will be low enough. And for this cooperation and partnerships in the company, we have established the Department of Investments and Department of International Relations. And now the company is already working with more than 20 countries. We are starting participating in such kind of good conferences. And here I'm finishing my presentation, and thank you for the organizers of this beautiful conference and for the opportunity that I could tell about the Navoiran, which I'm proud of. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed. I have just a quick question for you, actually. I wanted to know, when it comes to exploration, and you say you're looking, Navoiran are looking outside, are you only looking for sandstone and the ISL type projects, or are you looking for other type of uranium projects which take other extraction methods?
Yes, there is currently few ways of mining the uranium, but Navoiran is mostly comfortable with ISL leaching. So we are looking with our partners for the projects which will be ISL only for now at this stage.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next presenter is Alexander Voivodov from 10X Rostov. He is an advisor for them, and his talk will be on the current status of international uranium industry development. Can we please welcome Alexander to the stage?
Thank you.
Давайте поприветствуем, пожалуйста. Thank you very much, dear ladies and gentlemen, for organization and also for opportunity to be in this forum. I will try with my presentation. Maybe I will take more time, but I would like to share not only about the Rosatom activity in the uranium industry, but also I would like to inform you what is happening in uranium industry. So, this is analysis, the content analysis of global supply and demand, uranium production. We will also talk about there are enough resources, but at what price? And very briefly about Rosatom's raw material base and uranium mining. I will start with the very important slide. It's the VNA, the nuclear fuel report, and it is showing that by 2040, the gap between demand and supply from known sources could reach 46,000 tons of uranium. And we can see that really in the baseline scenario, the world annual nuclear energy needs will double by 2040 for the current 65 to 130,000 tons uranium. And from 2025, production of existing mines will be reduced and stopped, and all new projects will be restarted. And what is more important, that forecast for 2040, the use of secondary resources at the level 8,000 tons of uranium per year will be the same. And this is and the production at operating mines will be reduced by almost half. And the new mines will only compensate for the commissioned capacity. And we can see this pink field, as it is so called. So it is not confirmed suggestion offering from so-called unknown sources, and this is a pink field can be reached by 2040 48,000 tons of uranium, which is actually really comparable with the current production. We have resources, but they are not actually confirmed by uranium industry companies. So where we can take this 46,000 tons by 2040? Of course, it's when we have these find a new and also to develop the old ones. In the situation recently, the uranium market has been in turmoil for the past decade, and the excessive uranium supply in the market has contributed to price growth. And the companies have been holding their plans, holding back production, mothballing existing project, or postponing the launch of new ones. The total capacity of mines shut down since 2016 has been about 20,000 tons, and large mines in Niger and Australia have been closed. So companies with low production costs and profitable contracts survived. And we can see these high and lows of price growth. And at the beginning of the year, the price was very hopeful, but of course we need a sustainable and the price which will allow us to really invest in production. And this is world uranium production, and we can see these positive factors. And at 2024, it was 60,000 tons, which is 27% more than in 2021. And 40% is the leader of Kazakhstan remains. And then Canada recovers production levels from 24, and Namibia is third place with a share of 12. And with the companies, we can see three top leaders companies, the Kazatomprom and Cameco second place with 17%, and Rosatom inside of the country and outside. Uranium is third place. The main mining methods of uranium production since 2000, it's the open pit plus underground, and also it was 20% in 2024. It's 53%. It's almost 32,000 tons. So good growth prospects, of course, mainly by Kazakhstan, and then five other countries. It's 14%, of course, including Uzbekistan and Russia, and also USA and China. And of course, I will not go in details because we have lack of time, but it is also showing and confirming that now today is the uranium era of Kazakhstan, and the SPV mines, like ISL mines, and also it's a lot of reserves. So we can see here, that it started with red, and this is the cost, and then also we can see the production and how it is working. It is with the blue, if you can see it, and with a deep blue, it is also with Russian Federation in Kazakhstan. As a how we will hold uranium resource base by price categories and mining method, and this is the jointly with the USSD, and every country actually gave that data, and we can see that since 2009 the total world uranium resources have increased by 26%, and the resources of the category are less USD $80 per kg were halved, and they are the basis for it is actually yellow and orange field. It was halved, it was reduced twice, and around 92% resources in the category less than USD 80 per kg relate to mines that are operating or under construction. So we can see here the export resources for the SPV amount. The uranium raw material base is sufficient to meet the long-term needs of nuclear energy if there are favorable situation in uranium world uranium market. I will also would like to take some time at this slide. The provision of production with this cheap resources and the forecast of the depletion of explored resources of the category until 2040, and we can see almost all countries will actually work out their resources in Canada, Namibia, Niger, Russia, Uzbekistan, and after 40 the resources will be only in Australia. So also Olympic dam deposition, and also it is different in it is not profile metal is there, and in Australia as well. It is in South Africa, and also we can see here pure uranium mine resource pollution from Australia and South Africa, where uranium is a byproduct will be reduced by 71%. So this is an unfortunate picture, and then we will go to nuclear fuel cycle of Rosatom State Corporation. It's uranium mining, and you know that uranium has the full cycle of this cycle starting from the exploration to other, so it's a full cycle in the full cycle, and it's also we have working inside of the country, and we also work outside of the country, like overseas. It's not only about uranium but other ores as well. So now Rosatom's global leadership in raw materials and uranium mining. It's a Rosatom's global uranium presence. You can see our Soviet top 20 in and also with our joint ventures in Kazakhstan. We also have like 3 operating mines in Russia and 5 isolated mines in Kazakhstan. We also are leaders. We only update BHP. I'm talking only about uranium companies, and on the second. Less than $80 per kilogram. Now we are top 3. It's world leader in proven reserves. And now how it was worked out. We went to the historical maximum to 8.5 thousand tons last year.
Mainly in Kazakhstan, less like 35% in Russia. Prevalence to method of underground alkalinization. So we are diversified in terms of geography. We have not just there in Russia and Kazakhstan, we have another project which we commenced after some pause in Tanzania. We have open pit mine, we also have underground experience. We opened a big deposit in Namibia. The deposits were unknown. It's a sandy type deposit. We have a big potential to grow the production under the good market conditions, and also we do diversification into production of lithium and other products. So that's our foreign production and raw material base of uranium. So in 2024, the production was 5,836 tons. That's historic maximum. We have our projects, African projects, and the dynamics on the uranium production. So in foreign countries, 384,000 tons of uranium, 87% of them in category measured and indicated, 73% in Budenovskoye in Kazakhstan. So these are the main areas of development. We, of course, continue to develop the raw material based in Kazakhstan and Tanzania and Namibia. We have active negotiations with partners to access to the raw material base in new countries. So partially new, but we have been working there some time ago, like in Mongolia, in exploration and production. We are negotiating currently with Novy Uran. Unfortunately, we haven't advanced far in terms of geological exploration. Also, African countries, the zone between Namibia and Tanzania, so-called Karoo Basin, and Brazil. We also see perspectives and opening of new deposits, in particular, to work on underground methods. And that's basically what I wanted to tell you. Very briefly, let me summarize. The era of cheap uranium in the world market is coming to an end. Growth of demands in the world nuclear energy would happen on the background of depletion of existing uranium mines. And second, resources. The world resources of uranium of low cost would not be able to provide long-term needs of the world nuclear energy. And we, Rosatom, have leading positions in the world uranium industry and interested to participate in new foreign uranium projects, in particular in Uzbekistan. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Alexander. Just a couple of quick questions. Can you tell me, do we have sufficient uranium resources to meet the future global nuclear requirements?
Indeed, that's an important question. Yes, I've briefly mentioned about it. More than enough deposits, more than 6 million tons, but these are deposits of low-cost categories. Pay attention to that. Also, in the new Red Book, we'll have the next category of more expensive, and in the low one, it would go to an end. So answers are both yes and no. Yes, many resources and almost no cheap resources. Я думаю, это всего касается, да? Также я бы хотела узнать, вы упомянули более половины урана производится, используя АСЛ, а какие перспективы используя этого метода, особенно в Центральной Азии? Новый Иран тоже сказал. Very good question indeed. Very important question. I would like to underline that in Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, the foundation of the raw material base was laid out in Soviet Union. Most of the deposits were studied and opened in Soviet Union. There was some development, minor development, and these are limited deposits in sandy rocks. They're hard to be discovered. It's a very difficult job because of the deeper rock foundation or other more difficult conditions. the deposits are limited. That's why Rosatom and others are looking into opening of these new deposits in the non-traditional regions, something like Mongolia. You see big perspectives there. Also African countries, so-called Peru Basin, also Parana Basin in South America. They don't have that good geological and geotechnological conditions, but very good promises. Limited, but existing.
Great, thank you very much. Another excellent talk. Thank you. So to finish the session now, we have one more talk, and that is from Sean Kwan. Sean is a representative of Central Asia for CNNC Overseas. Could you please welcome Sean to the stage?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for me here. My name is Xiao. I'm the chief representative of CNOOC company in Central Asia. I'm very glad to share you with my topic today. My presentation is about building a mutually beneficial future, China and Central Asian cooperation. Firstly, please allow me to do a brief introduction about my company. As we all know, nuclear energy is an important clean option for global energy transformation. CNNC is China National Nuclear Corporation. It's the backbone of China's nuclear industry, one of the few companies globally that has capability across the entire nuclear sector. And the CNUC, it's mean China Nuclear Uranium Corporation. It's a 100% wholly owned subsidiary of CNNC. This company was founded in 1955. CNUC focuses on the exploration, mining, and processing of uranium resources. Our mission is to build a world-leading tech-powered mining company to uranium industry, fueling the nuclear energy development. The expertise of CNOOC covers geological exploration, mining, processing, research and development, engineering, design, construction, operations, and management. We provide solutions in exploration and exploitation of uranium and polymetallic mineral resources, and comprehensive of utilization of radioactive associated mines, geological exploration, ecologically restoration, comprehensive environmental improvement. Secondly, I just want to show you our uranium business. CNOOC prioritize innovations as we lead the neutral uranium industry. We always push the boundaries of operational practice and technological research. We have built very advanced exploration system, integrating remote sensing, airborne survey, ground survey, and underground drilling. Our innovative in-situ leaching technology for sandstone uranium mines has made the recovery of 100,000 tons resources possible. With our large-scale, eco-friendly, and intensive development strategy, the construction of a sandstone uranium production center, boasting over 1,000 tons of resources is advancing rapidly. And this deposit is located in Mongolia, China. CNUC embraces openness. We actively integrated into the global economy, fostering strong partnership around the world, including Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. And we, as an advocate for Belt and Road Initiative, we are collaborated on successful uranium projects in Namibia, Mongolia, Zimbabwe, Niger, and Uzbekistan. Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan are a world-class uranium producer. So I think in the future, we hope to tap into our combined strengths and to build on our shared journey to deepen cooperation on natural uranium trade, uranium projects, and front-end nuclear fuels. Certainly, I want to say KNUK is decided to diversify our development beyond uranium mining. We have intensive experience in comprehensive mining. In particular, this comprehensive utilization radioactive associated mines and their exploration development of uranium and polymetallic mineral resources. KNUK's both professional research institutes on resources exploration and processing. We have invested in several projects on the processing of monazite, uranium, molybdenum, polymetallic, and gold ores. We are excited to explore collaboration with our Central Asian and Chinese partners to unlock the potential of mineral resources. And in summary, I want to say China and Central Asian countries are permanent comprehensive strategic partners. Our nations stand side by side with our borders connecting us, and our industry complementing each other's strengths. So the presence of tremendous opportunity to take our collaboration to the next level. So let's join forces and embrace a spirit of openness. Together with China and with Central Asian countries, through pragmatic actions, and we can unlock the full potential of this remarkable partnership. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sean. Just one quick question for you, and that is regarding, I suppose we've just spoken a bit about ISL there, and obviously CNNC are looking at projects globally as well as here in Central Asia. Are you looking at just ISL, or are you looking at projects that use other methods of extraction, so open pit and underground? Is it anything for CNNC?
Currently, in CNC, we are trying to develop the market in Central Asia, but CNC is a large company dealing with Uzbekistan. We have successfully made geological projects, not just in uranium, but also construction of nuclear power plants. We can cooperate with Usatom, Rosatom together, so that Uzbekistan and Central Asia would get very good prospective development in this sector. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I think that concludes our session. We have overrun a little bit. I think if you've got any questions, maybe you can ask, I was going to say at tea, but I see that there's one quick question there. If we can just take one quick question and then...
Good afternoon. From ecology. My question is about certification. How the civil society organizations are participating in your projects, because the international organizations demand is that whether it's PPP or other projects, so the civil society and non-governmental organizations should be participating. Because I still don't see active participation of non-governmental organizations in large projects. Yes, it's a good question regarding environmental protection, biodiversity. Nawai Uran state company. So we have a communication with local population, and mostly we speak about Nawai region of Uzbekistan, because the production facilities are mostly in Nawai region. And I should mention that because all the families or all the neighborhoods which are working next to us, because the Nawai Uran is the main provider of the workforce at that those districts, Uchkuduk, Zafarabad, Nuradam, some of the regions of Samarkand. So most of the people know about our production, and also on the principles of ESG, we received those certification, and we have local and international partner who oversees our works on those norms and requirements, and our working groups, they constantly visiting neighborhoods, mahallas, and households. So, as you said, those requirements are stated in international requirements, it's about outreach and about involvement, about involvement of local population on the activities, and those certificates are not issued if those requirements are not met. We conduct those kind of activities in our way and the other regions, and maybe not all the people from different corners of Uzbekistan are not invited to the public meetings, but population in Nawawi, they know
if you can introduce and invite us to your organization so we can inside the organization can witness how you work, if you can.
Yes, we have got also the call center. If you are, I cannot remember the name of your press company. If you are, of course, an Uzbekistan accredited company, of course, you are welcome. The doors are open, and the ESG team is there. The self-certification team is there, and the full operating team is working on all these kind of operations. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmed, and thank you for your question. I think any other questions perhaps could be answered over tea. I'm conscious of the time, but I'm sure you'll join me in putting your hands together to thank this most excellent panel that we've had here and giving us the information that we've had this afternoon. And I think the future really is quite bright, but it does require the uranium industry. And with our experts here, we look forward to developments in the nuclear industry here in Central Asia. So please put your hands together in thanking everybody in the panel.